We are going to talk about Sheikh Hasina, the ex-Prime Minister of Bangladesh, now living in India in self-imposed exile. Sheikh Hasina was born on 28 September 1947, is a Bangladeshi politician who served as the 10th Prime Minister of Bangladesh from June 1996 to July 2001, and again from January 2009 to August 2024. She is the daughter of Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, the founding father and first president of Bangladesh, having served for a combined total of over 20 years. She is the longest serving prime minister in the history of Bangladesh. She was the world's longest serving female head of government. Her authoritarian regime ended in self-imposed exile following a series of violent protests in 2024. As the autocratic regime of Hussein Muhammad Ershad came to an end, Hasina, then leader of the Awami League (AL), lost the 1991 election to Khaleda Zia, with whom she had collaborated against Ershad. As leader of the opposition, Hasina accused Zia's Bangladesh Nationalist Party (BNP) of electoral dishonesty and boycotted parliament, which was followed by violent demonstrations and political turmoil. Zia resigned in favor of a caretaker government, followed by Hasina becoming prime minister after the June 1996 election. While the country began to experience economic growth and a reduction in poverty, it remained in political turmoil during her first term, which ended in July 2001, with Hasina being succeeded by Zia following her victory. Hasina was the first Bangladeshi prime minister to serve a full 5-year term since independence in 1971. During the 2006 to 2008 political crisis, Hasina was detained on extortion charges. After her release from jail, she won the 2008 election. In 2014, she was re-elected for a third term in an election that was boycotted by the BNP and criticized by international observers. In 2017, after nearly a million Rohingya entered the country, fleeing genocide in Myanmar, Hasina received credit and praise for giving them refuge and assistance. She won a fourth and fifth term after the 2018 and 2024 elections, which was marred by violence and widely criticized as being fraudulent. Her second premiership from 2009 to 2024 was marked by economic mismanagement and rampant corruption, leading to rising foreign debt, increasing inflation, youth unemployment, and banking irregularities. An estimated 150 US billion dollars or taka 17.6 lakh crore was siphoned out of Bangladesh by illegal means during this period. In 2022, anti-government protests broke out demanding the resignation of Sheikh Hasina. In June 2024, fresh student protests erupted throughout the country, demanding the reform of quotas in government jobs. The protests were met with brutal crackdown by law enforcement agencies and paramilitary forces, resulting in the massacre of students. By August, the protest intensified into a mass uprising against the government, which eventually culminated in the resignation of Hasina and her fleeing to India. It is widely considered that Bangladesh experienced democratic backsliding after her premiership. Human Rights Watch documented widespread enforced disappearances and extrajudicial killings under her government. Numerous politicians and journalists were systematically and judicially punished for challenging her views. In 2021, Reporters Without Borders gave a negative assessment of Hasina's media policy for curbing press freedom in Bangladesh since 2014. Hasina has been criticized as being too close to India, often at the cost of Bangladesh's sovereignty. She is seen as a manifestation of India's interference in Bangladeshi politics, which the critics described as the main source of Hasina's power. Hasina was among Time's 100 most influential people in the world in 2018 and was listed as being one of the 100 top most powerful women in the world by Forbes in 2015, 2018, and 2022. So, this is simply all about, in brief, Sheikh Hasina. Now we will talk about Sheikh Hasina's second premiership from 2009 to 2024. On 6 November 2008, Hasina returned to Bangladesh to contest the 2008 general election scheduled for 29 December. She decided to participate in the parliamentary election under the banner of the Grand Alliance with the Jatiya Party, led by Hussein Muhammad Ershad as its main partner. On 11 December 2008, Hasina formally announced her party's election manifesto during a news conference and vowed to build a digital Bangladesh by 2021. The Awami League manifesto was entitled A Charter for Change and included the party's commitment to Vision 2021. The manifesto included pledges to implement measures to reduce price hikes, combat corruption by strengthening the independent SEC, and submission of annual wealth statements by influential people. Introduction of a long-term policy towards power and energy, increasing power generation to 7,000 megawatts by 2013, bringing vibrancy to the agriculture sector and extending the safety net to the poor, creating good governance and curtailing terrorism and religious extremism, persecution of 1971 war criminals, ensuring an independent and impartial judiciary, reforming the electoral system, strengthening the Human Rights Commission, and depoliticizing the administration. Her Awami League and the Grand Alliance, a total of 14 parties, won the 2008 general election with a two-thirds majority, having won 230 out of 299 seats. Khaleda Zia, leader of the BNP-led coalition four-party alliance, rejected the results of election by accusing the chief election commissioner of stage managing the parliamentary election. Hasina was sworn into office as prime minister for a second term on 6 January 2009. Independent observers declared that the elections were held in a festive and peaceful atmosphere. After being elected prime minister, Hasina renegade on her agreement with Jatiya Party to make Ershad its leader the president. Hasina removed Awami League Central Committee members who supported reforms forced by the previous caretaker government. She had to confront a major national crisis in the form of the 2009 Bangladesh Rifles revolt over a pay dispute, which resulted in 56 deaths, including Bangladesh army officers. Hasina was blamed by the army officers due to her refusal to intervene against the revolt. However, in 2009, a recording emerged of Hasina's private meeting with army officers, who expressed their anger with how she had not reacted more decisively in the revolt's early stages by ordering an armed raid of the BDR Rifles compound. They believed that her efforts to appease the revolt's leaders delayed needed action, which led to more deaths. In 2011, the Daily Star editorial, she was commended for her sagacious handling of the situation, which resulted in the prevention of a further bloodbath. In 2011, the parliament removed the law that required non-party caretaker government to hold elections. In 2012, she maintained a hardline stance and refused to allow entry to Rohingya refugees fleeing Myanmar during the 2012 Rakhine State riots. On 27 June 2013, a case against Hasina and 24 other Bangladeshi ministers and security personnel were lodged at the International Criminal Court (ICC) for the alleged violation of human rights. She has been credited internationally for the achievement of some of the United Nations Millennium Development Goals. In 2012, a coup attempt against her by mid-ranking army officers was stopped, with the Bangladesh Army being tripped off by an Indian intelligence agency. The Bangladesh Army described the army officers involved as being Islamist or extremists. In 2012, she had a falling out with Muhammad Yunus, Nobel laureate and founder of Grameen Bank, following a Norwegian documentary that was critical of Yunus's transferring of money from Grameen Bank to an affiliate organization. Yunus transferred the money back after the documentary aired, but it increased scrutiny of the bank by the government and media in Bangladesh. Yunus lost control of his bank following a court verdict. He criticized Hasina and other Bangladeshi politicians. She responded by saying she did not understand why Yunus blamed her when it was a court verdict that removed him from the bank. During this term, her government led and succeeded in forming the International Crimes Tribunal to investigate and prosecute for suspects involved in the Bangladesh genocide committed by the Pakistan Army and the local collaborators Razakars, Al Badr and Al Shams during the Bangladesh Liberation War in 1971. There are also many other things to talk about this topic. But lastly, here I would like to talk since Sheikh Hasina resigned on 5 August 2024. Now, talk about the post premiership of the life of Sheikh Hasina. As of 10 September 2024, Hasina is facing 152 cases, which include 135 for murder, 7 for crimes against humanity and genocide, 3 for abduction, 6 for attempted murder, and 1 for the attack on a BNP processor. These cases include other former government officials, Home Minister Asaduzzaman Khan, Transport and Bridges Minister, and concurrent Awami League Secretary General Obaidul Qadir, and others. The International Crimes Tribunal opened an investigation on charges of genocide and crimes against humanity against her and 9 senior government and Awami League officials over their role in the crackdown on the protest following a petition by the father of a killed student. The BNP requested India to extradite Sheikh Hasina to Bangladesh for prosecution against the cases registered on her. On 21 August, Yunus interim government, the Yunus interim government ordered the revocation of all diplomatic passports, including Hasina's. On 29 August, the interim government issues an ordinance revoking a law providing special privileges to the Sheikh Wajed family, including Sheikh Hasina, under which it was enacted in 2009. So there are many other things to talk about this topic, but now I'd like to put an end to my lecture here. And if you want to know more about any educational video, you can browse all the other videos that I have recorded in my channel. Lastly, one thing I would like to tell you that health is wealth. If you don't have a good health, you cannot enjoy your health. You cannot be a money maker. So you must have to have a sleep of more than 7 to less than 9 hours of sleep in the 24-hour. And nutritious food, I mean balanced diet, is necessary for maintaining good health. And lastly, I'd like to request you to study more and more, to read the books 24 by 7. That means even you are in sleep, you have to dream about the topics, about the contents what you have read in your practical life. You know, without knowledge, without skills means science-based knowledge. Skill means you have to make something, you have to create something. If you cannot create anything, if you cannot make anything, you will have to depend on others for your livelihood. So try to make something, try to make anything that you can, and try to earn more and more knowledge, because knowledge is power, information is power. In this world of information and communication technology, no, without being knowledgeable, without being informative, without being informationful, you cannot expect to lead a good life. You cannot expect to remove discrimination among people if they are not knowledgeable, if they are not wise, if they are not a pandit, if they are not a scholar, and if they are not skilled. So we have to make a vow that we must be educated and we must be skilled to lead a peaceful life. Because Nelson Mandela said that, I would like to remind you, education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. If you want to change the world, you need education. What is education? Education is knowing the unknown, seeing the unseen, and doing the undone. So I hope you have enjoyed this lesson. Thank you very much, and hoping you all to watch all the videos of my channel for education and entertainment. Thank you. Bye bye.